Great, thanks so much. Well, now I'm delighted to be joined by Berger from Social Tables.
So the hamburger, so it's easy to remember.
See, and I'm not thinking food. It's like too early for lunch, so it's not on my mind. So Social Tables, we're all familiar with it, collaborative event software. What meeting and event trends are you seeing, Don, that event professionals are not paying enough attention to you, that you think will have the greatest impact on the industry in the coming years?
So I've been thinking a lot about that question. I think the answer is comfort. I'm sitting on two chairs as an example, right? And we're trying to get the height up, I'm assuming, for the camera.
Exactly. But I think just sharing behind the scenes
tips. That's right. I hope I didn't reveal too much about it.
No, it's all right. We're very transparent with our audience.
The reality is we're so focused on doing something innovative and hanging room sets from ceilings and God knows what else, that we're not focused on comfort. And I just can't help but think that we're going to go back to the basics pretty soon and focus on comfort. An example of that was yesterday's opening reception.
Yeah.
Right? You had all these different options. You had from hammocks to bean
lawn
bags.
Chairs.
Right, and even floor.
Yes.
Like no chairs. So I think comfort's a big thing. I think it's obvious. Soft seating is kind of what everybody loves to do. The problem with soft seating is you can't afford it. It's not always available. It's when you need more space, and more space costs more money. And then when you have using more space, you need more projectors in order to show TVs in the back. So it's just very complicated.
Yeah, it creates more distance between your audience and the stage or where the main action is happening.
Right. So I think comfort's going to be all the rage going into 2017.
All the rage. I love it. Comfy. Are we allowed to wear comfier clothes?
Yeah, why not? Just let loose,
Good. I love it.
Yeah, bring your own cushions.
What new piece of technology are you most excited about and why?
So personal or professional?
Both. Give me one of each.
I feel as though, this is something that's not as obvious, but I think machine learning is something that we can really use in event planning. If we, for example, take all the room sets ever created in a single space and are able to tie that into the results of an event, then we can actually make decisions around layouts in an automated way. So I could tell you essentially that based on the experience we've had in this venue, based on what your event participants require, we can have the ideal room set without even thinking about it, because we're going to be using machine learning to make that decision.
Interesting.
So using machine learning to drive decisions and automate decisions, so we can focus on strategy and content.
When you're in a situation where you are really delivering hard-hitting content, let's say, where there might not be a lot of opportunities for audience engagement, and I think of a general session or a main stage environment. This morning's general session, theater seating for just under 4,000 people. Yeah. Not a lot of opportunity for massive innovation when it comes to what we're doing, but doing everything that you can to create interesting spokes, and we talked about the satellite stages. When you have some of those more straightforward environments, what are you seeing as some of the innovative ways that organizations are looking to structure their seating, or even in situations where we're trying to create collaboration, where we maybe don't have the budget or the options for soft seating or comfy seating?
Collaboration is actually quite cheap. It requires collision. And in order to have collision, you need space to do so. So for example, when it comes to a room set like a general session, whether it's a massive theater set, I think that people are going to be on their phones. People are going to be using their devices, no matter how many times you implore them not to do so, and no matter how engaging the speaker is. Even when Matthew McConaughey came up today, everybody pulls out their phones to take a photo, and then they share it. Or when they're kind of being checked out, they're going on and doing their own thing, work email and whatnot. So I think it's about creating the environment to allow them to do that. There's some furniture companies out there that have incredible general seating, kind of theater, movie theater type spaces where you can actually lounge. And I think if you're gonna have a general session, you might as well make it comfortable and allow give permission for people to do those kinds of things, because they're going to do it anyway, and they don't want to be scolded by the moderator to put their phones away. We should embrace that, and instead we should make very compelling content and create collision space before and after in order to make the meeting more successful.
It's interesting you say that, because this is a topic that I think we're going to see come up over and over and over again at convening leaders, and it's really emerging. This idea of how we really need to adjust our mentality to the lifestyle and to the behavior of what we're seeing from our attendees, not trying to force them into these environments. We talked a little bit about the co-working space that's here.
Perfect example.
Right, and so it's we have to take what are the knowns. We can't just be forcing attendee behavior to try to tune in with what we want them to do. We need to be the ones that morph our environments, that morph our content to do just that.
That's right, and we oftentimes forget that just because this is an educational conference doesn't mean that every single person is coming here to be educated. And every different segment, every different group, every different sub-segment of participants has different requirements and different interests and different objectives. We have to take that into consideration. So I think that, for example, last night's party was incredible, but quite frankly, if you're trying to meet new people, it was more of a catch-up party, right? I'm not going to meet somebody new in that kind of environment. So, and that's okay. That's what that event was for. So I think if we take into consideration the fact that different people have different needs and we need to create programs that adjust to those needs, the key is identifying those needs and then sharing the information that's available to those people based on what their needs are.
And creating a plethora of different experiences. So we talked about the brain dates idea that our audience was really excited about, right? So if the opening reception is not the most prime opportunity for you, if that's what you're looking to do, you've got other opportunities like brain dates or things. So it's looking at that holistic experience so that attendees can find themselves in multiple places within that journey.
Completely agree with you.
Fascinating. All right, well, Dom, thank you so much.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
That was fun.
All right.